welcome to the IELTS class tonight. And I hope you are set. But before I start, I'm just going to do some audio testing, okay, so that I can be rest assured that the audio is fine. Yes.
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to
Okay, please, I would like you to just make your comment if
now
the
turn to section 1.
audio was okay so that we could start.
You will hear a telephone conversation between a travel company employee and a customer. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
Okay, I was testing the audio for those who are just joining. The class hasn't started in proper, so just let me know if the audio was okay so that we can commence. Yes.
You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Talia from Parrot Bay Travel Agency. Is Robert Goddard there?
Yes, speaking.
The man says that he is Robert Goddard. So, Robert Goddard has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen.
Okay.
Because you will not hear the recording.
I will stop it now, please. So if it is okay by your side, at your end, let me just know. Let me just know. Okay. So that we can start in earnest. Okay. Okay, nobody has responded. I will start like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so some people said they are fine. Okay, so we'll start now. Okay, so let me just okay, so good evening and welcome to class tonight. Okay, and today is another listening class, and yes, today's class concludes the listening season, listening for this season. So I will be transiting to my slide. So get your headset, get a pen and paper, because we'll be doing more of practicing. Because I'm going to just go over all the things we've done once again to intimidate us and for us to be aware of, okay, how far we have gone in the season. So it is lecture 6. And today is the final class for listening. So next Tuesday, we will be starting another class in reading. Okay, please pay attention. So, and when we started, I said I was going to go through this 4, the golden rules. Yes, and I was going to guide while listening, and then question types and peculiarities, then maps, charts, and diagram. Okay, by all measure, we have gone through all, and those are the things that you generally require to go through uh, listening. Okay, so the curriculum has been covered and meticulously. If you have followed the class, it means you are ready in the aspect of listening, especially if you have practiced and been practicing. Let me go to the last page of my slide because I said after all I have taught, I gave us this other information. I said some nugget for IELTS listening if you aim to score 8.0 or above. I say you need to do at least 30 to 40 practices. Why? It depends. Some people can do less and still score high. So you need to know your own deficiencies. That is, after you've known the guideline, you need to rigorously apply them. I said do at least a practice every day, 3 weeks to your exam. And then after each practice, I say go over it to know where you got it wrong. Those ones you failed, please, you need to go over the practice to see what are the things that are getting you wrong, and then use some of the strategies we've displayed if it is a particular question type. And I said be careful when transiting between two different question types within maybe between same subsection. Okay, so those are the general guidelines information I gave after you have gone through all the lectures. You need to now start practicing. Yes, because what you have done is that you have acquired enough information or knowledge to be able to navigate through the listening. So you need to practice to see that you are able to use the knowledge appropriately. Okay, so before we go, um, I'm going to do a short quiz again. Please bring out your pen and paper. I asked ATS last week, list the first 5 golden rules of listening, and then list the 3 guidelines while listening. I want you to write them and send them because you need to apply them and you need to know them before you can apply them. So please send them. The first 5 golden rules of listening that I gave here, and then the 3 guidelines that you need to deploy while listening. If you could recollect, the golden rules are the things you need to do before the audio starts playing. Yes. And the guides while listening are the things you need to do while the audio is playing. Okay, so I'll be expecting response for the 2 questions. For those just joining, there's no problem, just participate. We're still going to, today is the last day, so we're still going to run through most of the things we've done in a summary format. Then we're going to practice alongside using the rules that has been given that has been helping students so far. Okay, so I'm expecting your responses. Even if you can't make them in sentence, just highlight the most important part of those rules. Yes, somebody has sent one. Yes, those are the things because you might not just necessarily remember in them in sentences. That's why I highlighted the most important part in either red or green or bold coloration while we were doing it. So this short quiz, list the first 5 golden rules of listening and then 3 guidelines while listening. The 3 guidelines while listening. Okay. Okay. Only one person is responding, and okay. Okay. Fine. One person has responded to the golden rules. I expect all of us to do because, and I want us to be able to do it offhand to the extent that when you are having the questions right in front of you, you will just need to start applying those rules. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I'm still expecting only one person is responding. Okay, thanks for responding. I'm going to paste what the person wrote so the person. Okay, the person said he has forgotten the guidelines. Please, you need to know these things because they are very, very simple. This is what the person sent. Yes, you start remembering. Okay, you've forgotten. Please, you need to go and revisit those rules. Okay, the person wrote these are the golden rules. I'm going to reveal them as I, yes, I think this one is a typo. Attention to plurals. Yes, you need to pay attention to plurals. Okay, okay. These things are important. That's why I need to just slow down because whatever I've been teaching, you need to just pay attention. You need to be able to use. Okay, okay, fine. The person has sent the last answer. I don't know if you are reading it out offhand. It will be better for you to know these things offhand. Actually, yes. Okay. So I'm going to review the person actually maybe scored 7/8. Okay, because the first one here was supposed to be the instruction. That was the only one. Okay, look at it. These are the golden rules. The first five are the golden rule. The other six one is just other general information. Okay, you can see that the first one is instruction. That's why I say you don't need to remember in sentence. Just understand that you need to check the instruction. Then the next thing is topic and subtopic. Then the next thing is the question layout and format. Okay, yes, please, you need to master this rule because these are the things you need to do before the audio so that you can understand your question. Then the code, I said the most important rule is question layout. That is, you need to understand the question layout before the audio starts speaking. That is, during the 30 seconds uh, gap it's going to give you, please, you need to do that. Okay, then I said pay attention to plurals. And then focus, patience, and calmness. You need to be very focused. You need to be patient. You need to be calm because listening is going to test ability to understand things under a short time. Maybe you miss one, you need to just stay calm and understand that you have missed it, so you need to move. Okay, so guide while listening, we have two questions in sight, and I gave explanation as to why you need to do that. And then this is the second time I'm saying pay attention to plurals. While you are checking your worksheet for plurals before the audio starts, when the audio starts, just pay attention as the answer is supplied if there is a mention of plural. Okay, because if the question says um, appendages and you wrote appendage, you'll be marked wrong. Pay attention to plurals. Then pay attention to inferences and synonyms. Sometimes similar words will not be used. The audio will be using another word that is similar to the worksheet. It can say make food while the audio can say cook food, you need to be able to infer that they are saying the same thing. Okay, so that's the golden rules, and also the guide for listening, guide what listening, because these golden rules are the things you need to do when the audio pause for 30 seconds and say pay attention to question 1 to 4. The whole world at that time, your whole world is question 1 to 4. Your whole world at that time. So that's the way it is. So now let us go. We will practice this one now. If you can see it properly, you can see the question. Okay, we will practice now. So bring out your pen and paper. I know sometimes looking through the screen can be a bit more difficult, but if you understand the concept, after we've done it here, you need to go and sit back and practice. Okay, so I will play the audio now. So be set to participate. Don't, please, I want us to be participating in class. I know sometimes we'll have an ethic day, but these are towards the final exam, the last minute rush wouldn't even change many things. It wouldn't change many things. It is the little things that you do every day that will change everything. Okay. So I will play the audio for this one now.
Section 3. You will hear two students called Jane and Mark talking to their tutor about the project assignments for their senior thesis. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 23. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 23.
So, you were both given your project assignment for your senior thesis today, right?
Yes, and we already have to submit our topics next week.
But how could they give us a grade this soon? No, next week's due date will not be counted towards your final grade. The teachers are just going to read your topic and give you feedback.
Oh, I see. So first we should come up with our topics, and then what?
Well, once you know what you want to study, you need to think about how you'll study it. You need to decide on your research methods. The methods will be the main part of your paper. What about the results section? Well, I can give you feedback on that, but you will be the one carrying out an experiment, and thus will have to produce the results on your own. What I would like to do today is practice writing research papers before you even begin your report. I'll give you samples of old data from past experience, and you can practice writing results and drawing conclusions.
I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of extra work, but I'm sure it would make our actual project easier. You're exactly right. So let's get started. First, let's try this simple experiment on fruit flies. Read the information and then take 25 minutes to summarize a results and conclusion section. That's really important. Pay attention to the time limit.
Okay, does it still have to be 6,000 words?
No, don't worry about that. What if we get off topic? I wouldn't worry too much. You'll have so much information to write about that it should be easy to stay on topic.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 24 to 30.
Please do this next set.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 24 to 30.
But what about other sources?
Well, for this assignment, you can use the one from your textbook. In your actual paper, you should find old experiments that support your topic.
So do we need to find different types of sources? For instance, should I be conducting lots of interviews to use in my paper?
No, there's no need to conduct lots of interviews or anything like that.
Okay, I'm ready to get started. I'm still a little confused, though, on how we should format our paper.
Don't worry about it for now, but on your final paper, make sure to pay attention to the format. It should follow the guidelines exactly.
Oh man, I'm starting to understand why they give us all semester to do this. Are there any other small details like that that we should know about?
Not a whole lot. Make sure you provide 2 copies, one for your teacher, of course, but one for yourself as well. And of course, you know the due date, right?
It's April the 11th, right?
What? No, it's May 11th, right?
Yes. The due date is May 11th. Write it down.
Oh, wow, yeah, I need to note it. Also, I'm having trouble finding information on my topic. What if I can't find enough good sources?
It's all right to change your topic. Just make sure to do it before the beginning of April.
Oh, really? Wow, I'm definitely going to change it then.
Just make sure to write a note to your teacher, letting him or her know.
Okay, so getting back to writing this sample paper, where do we start? Should I just explain the experiment and what happened?
Well, you need to start with your hypothesis, what you think will happen, and then describe your procedure. Then you can write up the results and your conclusions.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can handle any more instructions.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Please check your answers and then send the answer. Check your answer. Check it if it fits, because sometimes fitting is what makes you get it right. Check your answers, yes, and send your answers. Okay, your network. Okay. Okay, please send in your answers. Okay, no problem. You didn't participate, no problem. Okay, if your network gets better. Mr. Julius, your sound was low. Please, you need earpiece. I'm at the maximum sound here. Okay, you need your headset, what we call hands-free. Okay. Okay. Okay, most of us didn't participate. I just one person who is responding. Please, you have to participate. You cannot assume you understand if you do not participate. You can't. Believe me, you can't. And because you are busy, the more reason you need to participate while we are doing this practice in class. Yes. Okay. Okay, I will be revealing the answers now. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for those who are just sending their answers. Maybe 1 more minute, then I will reveal the answer, because I want to see you participating, because as busy as you are, this will help you start understanding it from the class. Then when you get on your own, then you start writing, you start doing them. Okay. Okay, I know it's a bit more difficult when you are listening across video. Yes, that's it. I understand that. So in the next few seconds, I'll be revealing the answer just for the sake of those who are delaying. Yes, Mr. Julius, hands-free. For listening, that's why I recommend hands-free. Yes, if you are not listening, getting it properly, you need the hands-free. Okay, okay, I will review the answer now. These are the answers. I think someone got almost everything. Okay, the person using the admin stuff, I don't know your name actually. Maybe I can't connect your name to, yes, because your name is appearing as admin. Okay, so I think you got everything. So these are the answers: C, B, and A. Please, I want you to state if you're having challenge. Maybe if it is the audio, fine. If it is because you are looking across a video format, it could be a bit more challenging. Yes, I understand that. It reduces your possibility of accuracy. Yeah. So somebody who's getting almost all across the board is trying, okay, except maybe you've practiced the same question before. Okay, so that's the answer for that one. Okay, and one of the things that are peculiar about this question is that it's a two-man, it's a two-man, three-man discussion. That's why I'm bringing back the strategy I put to us. Number one, you need to follow. Okay, you said you missed 26. That was good enough. Uh, Watching across the audio was 26, two copies. You didn't miss 26. You wrote, sorry, you wrote it in words. It's the same thing, two copies. The answer here is in numerals. It's the same thing, two copies. So you didn't miss 26. 26 is two copies. You wrote your own in words. This one is written in figure and words together. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah, it is okay. So you got it. You didn't miss it. Okay. So because it is a two or three band discussion and you have multiple choice sentence completion, you need to understand that you need to follow the rules of multiple choice questions. That is, what are the issues with multiple choice question? Okay, and also look at, because three people are discussing, their discussion could be somehow confusing. I said these are the things you need to do. Okay, the peculiarity, confusion about when and what answer is picked. I said listen to suggestion, listen for objection, listen for alternatives where there is objection, because you can see the way they argued about May 11th, June something as the deadline. Those are the things you need to watch out for in two or three man discussion. Okay, so those are the peculiarities of two-man discussion. So it's a combination of multiple choice, sentence completion, and two or three man discussion. Okay, so I said we're going to practice more on this. Okay, so that is it. Okay, we will practice again now before we do another quiz. Uh, yes, one word plus a letter. Let me give you, let's go to the instruction. It's like you think you got it wrong. I didn't think you, this is the question. It said one word and or, that is and, you can use it together. Or, so it is, if it says one word or a letter that you could have used just one. It's one word and or a number. So you can use two words. When I was explaining this instruction, it used the word and or. Okay, so you can use, so you were right, two copies. That you wrote the words, this number in numerals or you write it in word, isn't, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so for those who didn't prepare in that one, let us go to this question. Now, please be prepared to practice. And I want to get feedback for those who have been in class for a while. if there's any challenge, because I will either refer you to some of the notes I've given before, or if it is not in my notes, I will provide a solution, or it will be part of further research, because that's what we do. Okay, so you will be set to participate in this one now, because we are just going over the lecture and then revising. Okay, so I will play this one now, so be ready to participate.
Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture about factors you should consider when creating advertising materials and the effects they can have on your product sales. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Hello class, and welcome back to Marketing Strategies. This week I will expand upon last week's lecture by talking about factors you should consider when creating advertising materials and the effects they can have on your product sales. Lesson 1. Limit your advertising to the geographic area of your target market. Though you may have a product that people want in a large area, the distance that customers are willing to travel is a significant factor in their choice of where to purchase that product. Take this example. If you're really hungry and decide you want a burrito, would you choose the restaurant that is a block from your apartment, or the one that is just as good, or even slightly better, across town? Of course, you'd pick the closer restaurant. Next, there's the method of communication to your target market. How do you decide among radio ads, TV commercials, flyers, or even word of mouth? While we often think of the visual presentation of ads, there's much more to advertising than the look. Studies show that consumers are much more likely to remember advertising slogans if there's also a sound played. Did you know that your sense of smell is closely linked with memory? Think about Mandy's candy store up the road. Every time you walk past it, you can just smell the chocolate, right? I bet you can almost smell it now. Just mentioning the name brings about the smell memory and in turn, a chocolate craving. What better way to sell chocolate bars? Obviously, sometimes appealing to the senses isn't the most practical way to advertise. For example, it's a good idea to come up with a marketing strategy that adapts to the product, especially digital products. The flexibility of this kind of products is extremely important. So it's very common for advertisers to form one single layout for all of their ads, the visual, the medium, even the majority of the content, and simply update the ad each time they come out with a new version. Remember, advertising is all about stirring up the right feeling in your potential customers, whether by stimulating the senses, appealing to the intellect, and so on. Once the customer experiences the ad, the important thing is his or her reaction. Someone could love the ad you made, but unless he or she considers buying the product, you've failed to get the reaction you were looking for. So once you have successfully reached your target customer, and you have his or her business, often you'll want to expand to a larger market. More often than not, the same marketing strategies you used in your small campaign may not work for a larger audience. The larger you scale your product, the the more factors you must consider. For instance, Apple operates worldwide, so they must tailor their advertising to each market they enter. Often you'll see Apple ads on international flights that appear not only in English, which is the lingua franca of most regions, but also in the native languages of the majority of passengers. I traveled to Russia last week, and it was really interesting to see the same Nike ad that I've seen 100 times, except this time it was in Russian. Okay, going back to the medium of the advertisement, even after choosing to create print ads instead of radio announcements, television commercials, etc., there is more to consider. If you print your ad in a newspaper, it will be read by a far different audience than if you print your ad in a popular magazine. Would you put an ad for the new Justin Bieber album in a newspaper? Probably not, because that product is most suitable for youths. Let's face it, do you know anyone under the age of 25 that buys a newspaper? No. Now let's try a few strategy exercises. Imagine you're a company that is aiming to improve the environment by making products that reduce human waste. How would you advertise your product? Clearly it would send the wrong message if you put up flyers or other materials that cause lots of waste paper. Consider instead putting commercials on the Health Channel or buying ad space on websites like UNESCO. Or here's another example. What is one great place to advertise suntan lotion? How about a swimming pool? It has the exact group of people that need the product. Alright, one last thing. Let's say you're filming a commercial for a water filter picture. What would be good scenery to use for the background? Think about somewhere calm and relaxing with clean, fresh water. Can't you see how much more effective a commercial with the beautiful scenery and flowing rivers of a national park would be than, say, water dripping from a tap? So to wrap things up today, think about the geography of your target market, the type of marketing material you should use, and the most effective way to appeal to the customer in order to make a successful ad campaign. That is all I have for you today. Make sure to read through Chapter 8 for Monday if you have not done so already. Okay, now I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, please send in your answers. Okay, if you are having difficulty in hearing, I just like I do normally advise, for listening, you need to actually have a headset, or possibly if you are using a headset and you're having problem, possibly your network. Yes, those are the two things that the audio is not going to be super because it is playing across an internet broadcast. Yes, so you need to use headset because noise from your environment, even in the exam, you need to use headset. Noise from the environment would actually make it not clear. So that's why you need a headset. Okay. So those are the things that are advised for listening. Okay, possibly when we are doing reading and writing, you might not need headset except you just want to concentrate. Okay, so those are the okay, your network was fluctuating. If your sound was breaking, then it's a network thing. Yes, my network is good because if my network is bad, it gives me signal and I do normally communicate it. Maybe your individual network is not good. For the two people complain about network and sounding. Yeah. Okay. Maybe before any class, you need to switch on and switch off, switch off and switch on your network sometimes. Sometimes it just makes it better. Before class, make sure you switch off, then switch on again. Yeah, so that it will be fantastic. Okay, so I will display the answer now, but I'm just waiting for responses. Okay. 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 Wow. I want us to cover a lot. We are still far behind. Okay, I will display the answers now. Uh, okay, these are the ones you are able to. Okay, so these are the answers. Number one is distance. Number two is sound. Number three is smell. Number four is flex 34, sorry, flexibility. 35 is reaction. Okay, that 35 is reaction and perception. Sorry, I didn't put it. Then number 36 is languages, not language. Number 37 is newspapers. Number 38 is environment. Number 39 is swimming pool. Those places are tricky. Number 40 is national park. Those places are quite tricky. Okay, so those are the answers. Yes. Okay, for those who are joining, who've been participating in the class and you've gotten practice material, this is practice material 9. Yeah, the ones we are doing today. So you can just practice more and see. Uh, okay. 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 So let's move to the next one. The next thing is that you have a short quiz. This is the quiz. I said, what are the strategies for handling maps, charts, and diagrams? And I asked two questions. What are the three most important strategies for tackling maps, charts, and diagram? Last week, I taught us those strategies, and I highlighted that three of them were very, very important. You should either see two of them at the same time, or three, or even one. Three of them are important, very, very. Okay, so please write them and send them because I want to see if you've actually been able to uh, recollect, because still remember how to use them, because when you see maps and charts or diagram like this, if you see something like this, okay, you have a way to tackle it so that you don't just get lost. Okay, so the quiz, what are the strategies for handling maps, charts, and diagrams? Okay, and then what are the three? You just highlight them, pick out of them which one are the three. Okay, the most important. Okay, I have displayed the answer. I just moved past it. Okay, we are looking at doing the short quiz. Please do the short quiz. I will display the answer again. What are the strategies for handling maps, charts, and diagram, and which of them the three most important? Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, someone has mentioned three, at least the person participates, and you need these things. They need to be at the back of your mind. Okay, they need to be at the back of your mind while practicing. So you need to keep going back to them while practicing. Okay, fine. Fine, 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 fine. Okay, fine. Okay, someone said the most important. Fine, that's good. Okay, in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to reveal the answers just the way I taught in the class. Then we do a practice that has a map. Yes, I will be revealing the answers. Okay, in the okay, I will reveal the answer to that, then go back to the last answer. These are the strategies for tackling labeling maps and diagram. Number one is topic or title. Yeah. Number two is entrance or start point. Number three is labeled area. Number four is sequence of question if it is numbered. Yes. If missing part is A, B, C, D, the rules of sequence of question is not applicable. And number five is orientation guide, and then the legend. This is what I call orientation guide. That is, you have a cardinal point. Some maps will have it, and I said if the map has it, it will use north, south, east, west to give you description. So you need to, if the map doesn't have these north, south, east, west, it will use things like right, turn left, adjacent, opposite, down the road, end of the block, and things like that to give you description. Okay, so then the legend. Okay, I didn't bring a legend. A legend is something that describes a map. Before we close, if I'm able to display it, then the legend. Then the three most important are rule 2, 3, and 4. They are the three most important because three of them, at least one of them will be present in any map. That is unique to look for a possible starting point or entrance. Then even if it is missing, you need to look for the labeled area. There will be labeled area. Then if the check the sequence of question if numbered. If it is numbered, sequence of question work. If it is not numbered, just forget about sequence of questions. So 2, 3, 4 are the most important rule. Yes, to follow so that you can get your map. Okay, so that is that. So let us do a practice that involves map. So get your pen and paper. We'll be doing this one. I could only display the first 15, then I will move to the next slide when the audio is playing. Okay, so get your pen and paper and be ready to answer the next set of questions.
Section 2. You will hear a talk about the main points of interest and the improvements made in the area. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15.
Sorry, I will play the audio again. I want to give an instruction. The question will be 11 to 20, but the first set of questions is 11 to 15. I can't display them together so that you'll be able to see properly. So I will start the audio again. So I will transit when this part finishes. So I might have to pause a bit because of it might not transit instantly at your end. Okay.
Section 2. You will hear a talk about the main points of interest and the improvements made in the area. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Thank you all for coming to our community meeting. As you know, we're excited to unveil our improvement plan as we look forward to the influx of tourists in the summer months. I'll start with a quick overview of the main points of interest in the area for anyone who may not quite know his or her way around yet, and then I'll get to the improvements made. First off is my favourite, the Science Museum, which is on the corner of St George Road. If you have not visited yet, I encourage you to go before the busy season. It is absolutely spectacular. There is even a flight simulator you can try out. Just west of the Science Museum is the National History Museum. It's a sight not to be missed as well, with each floor devoted to a different era in our nation's history. There are special exhibits for children with interactive games and fun history lessons too. If you're looking for parking, it is available on the intersection of Queen Street and South King Street in the car park. Standard hourly and daily rates do apply. The best place for souvenirs is the shopping mall, though it gets extremely busy during peak times. You can get there from the tube or the entrance on Timber Road, just south of Cornwall Road. This area has students everywhere, usually from the primary school across the street from the shopping mall. Classes often take field trips and engage in guided tours through the area. So that's the overview of the main sites, and hopefully by now I've given you a general idea of the area.
Okay, so that's the first section. So I'll be transiting to the second one now. Before showing the answer, so this is the next set of questions. So I will continue the audio at this point in time.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now I'm going to outline the improvements we have made in our efforts to make the experience even better for each and every one of our visitors. You probably noticed when you first drove into the car park this morning that there is now additional signage to help avoid confusion. The directions were not entirely clear at first, so we have increased the number of one-way signs indicating the correct direction of traffic flow. Not far from there, in line with our mission of giving back to the community, we constructed a brand new playground for the primary school. It is really something to be excited for. The equipment is state-of-the-art and includes swings, a small climbing wall, and even an obstacle course. Now we'll head north and take a look at the Science Museum. In response to our feedback from past visitors to the museum, there is now free information available outlining not only upcoming IMAX showings, but also natural wonders like meteor showers, eclipses, and other cool natural events. The Science Museum isn't the only museum improving the experience of its visitors. The National History Museum has added an entire new wing to its facility to accommodate the large crowds of people gathering to see the Civil War exhibit, Inventions Timeline exhibit, and other wonderful sections of the museum. The increase in space will definitely give a more calm, comfortable experience for visitors. And finally, remember when there was actually a line at the mall entrance from the tube station? It was terrible trying to get anywhere from the tube because foot traffic got so backed up sometimes. We have addressed that by adding another entry point into the mall from the other end of the platform to disperse the crowd. So those are the major improvements we have made. Clearly, having too many people that want to visit and enjoy what our community has to offer the public is a good problem to have, and I am confident that we have made the changes necessary to accommodate the growing interest in the area. As always, we welcome any questions, comments, or concerns about the new improvement plan. In a few minutes, I will open up the floor for questions, but you can also contact me or any other board member by email or through the city website. Thank you for coming, and I now encourage you to stay for the questions and answers panel occurring between now and 10:30.
Okay, so that was it. The thing there is that I will display the answers now. I'm expecting your answers. For those who just joining today, one thing you need to know is that all the things we are doing is we are rounding off this listening class. So that was why we are highlighting all the things that has been taught and we are practicing at the same time so that, yes, we'll see how far we've gone. Okay, so those are the things. Okay, it seems Mr. Julius followed us to the end this time around. I'll actually display the question now. I'm waiting for the those who are still sending in their answers. Okay, it's a map and then it has a matching task to complete it. Okay, so the first section was map directly. The second side, which is just on display now, is matching task question. Okay, because you are matching what happens to 16 from A to G. Okay. Okay, I hope those who are sending have finished sending because two people have done sending, three people are done sending their answers. So I will be revealing the answers now. So these are the answers. 11 was B, 12 was A, 13 was E, 14 was C, 15 was D, 16 was E, 17 was G, 18 was C, 19 D, and 20 A. Some of us tried. I think some people, some of us tried. Almost some of people almost got Hall. Some got Hall. I think one person got Hall. P A E D C. Okay, D G. Okay. So no problem. So this is the answer. So you could as well check how many you got. But it's fantastic that most of us are able to, some of us are participating. Okay, you've lost touch a bit. Say got sick. Maybe you didn't participate in the from the beginning. Okay, because this is map and it also includes a matching task. Okay, okay, network. Okay, it's understandable. Okay, so we still have some little tasks to do because it's rounding off. We'll be finished. We'll be concluding in the next few minutes then. Okay, this is the choice I'm giving you now. This one is lengthy one. What is, let me change this. What are the peculiarities of multiple choice questions? And what are the strategies to deploy? That's question one. I want you to do it because these things are very much needed. What are the peculiarities? So since I've changed it to plural, of multiple choice questions and what are the strategies to deploy? What are the peculiarities of sentence completion and what are the strategies to deploy? Okay, the thing there is that while I'm doing this, I've discovered that these are the procedures I take physical class to. Then, since they are the procedures, I want those in online class to get the benefit so that you can score as high as possible as well. Okay, so what are the peculiarities of multiple choice questions? what are the strategies? Then 2B, 2A, what are the peculiarities of sentence completion and what are the strategies? I have taught this in previous classes. Okay, if you are just joining, you fit in because by Tuesday this Thursday we'll be starting writing season again, and Tuesday we'll be starting reading. So it's like you are just starting again now. So today is the end of like a season. Okay. So if you are just joining today, it means from next class, it's like a new season. Yes. So that is it. I hope that is clear. Okay, so you said for those who are just joining Alpha, we just concluded listening and we've concluded writing. Then we'll be starting writing again on Thursday. Thursdays is dedicated to writing. The next Tuesday, every Tuesday now until some weeks after, we'll just be doing reading alone. So that's it. Okay. Yes, some of us are doing. Yes, if I'm using hairpiece, does it mean I have to get headset? If your earpiece is loud enough, fine, because earpiece is the same thing as, well, you might need to, if you can get one, but it's not everyone with headset that's powerful. Just get earpiece or headset that is strong. The volume is okay. That's what I mean. Okay, so those are the things. Okay, some of us are getting it. Okay. Fantastic. Because if you're able to remember all these guidelines, when you see questions, yes, you'll be able to tackle them. Okay, where did you see acceptance or rejection in maybe sentence completion? Okay, I think acceptance or rejection is in 2-man, 3-man discussion. Multiple choice, if it's just multiple choice, if it's involved, yeah, the multiple choice that we did the other time. Okay, yes, if you can't hear the audio clearly, okay, if it is breaking in between, it's network, it's not your uh earpiece, but there is a speaker attached to the audio part, so I think it's clear. Maybe you need to adjust audio at your end a bit, and if it's breaking, it's network. If it is breaking, it is network. Yes. Okay. Yeah, some people have answered the peculiarity of multiple choice questions. That is good. And then some. Okay. Peculiarities. Peculiarities mean what are the challenges? What are the things that are notable about them? Okay. I'm waiting because you need to know all these things. I taught them because they are very, very helpful. They came through a lot of research that is played about hundreds of audio to see what are the challenges. Yes. So, and then came up with the solution, check other curriculum, things like that. Yeah. So, and they are working, and I'm saying that I think um, over the past 3 months thereabouts, most of our students averagely 8 in listening, and I said, okay, something is good about listening uh, that can be continued too in the online. Yes. Okay. Some people have actually sent thanks for the person using admin. I would really like to remember because I think you've told me your name once before. Okay, so I will review the answers now, just the way I taught it in class. Multiple choice question. We'll have to discuss what you sent to me. Later. Okay, the person talking about schedule of class. Okay, multiple choice questions. The peculiarities are all options will be discussed. As a matter of fact, that's the most important peculiarity of multiple choice questions. Every other listening have the peculiarity of synonyms or alternate words, and lengthy discussion can be anywhere. The most important or the major peculiarities, all options will be discussed. Then I said focus on the keywords in the question, then make inferences when it's synonyms case, be patient and focus on worksheets. Then sentence completion. Question in sentence so difficult to track due complexity and volume of discussion. Then another peculiarity is synonyms. Strategy. I said familiarize with words. Yeah, let me put it words on either sides of the blank. Yes. So because when they start discussing, they will discuss those words around it, then mention the missing blank. Okay, those are the peculiarities of multiple choice questions and sentence completion. I gave about different peculiarity of each question, but these are the two that are very, very challenging. Yeah. So that's why I'm repeating them now. Okay, so let's do this practice. We're going to do two more practices. This multiple choice question. I hope this is bold enough. If it is not bold enough, then I will have to split the slide. Please confirm if it is bold enough, because they are a bit tiny from me here. If it is bold enough and you can see, we will continue. If it's not bold enough, I will bold in and then split. Okay. Yeah, you said it's okay. Okay, somebody said it is tiny. Maybe the person is using a phone. So I will split the this thing. I will split the slide now so that I will take off the second part, then I will transit when the second part is okay, sorry about that. When the second part has been sorry, let me do something now. I was doubtful myself when I was preparing it, but I said, okay, it might work. But I remember that some people, I just recollected that some people uh, might just be having issues because of if they are using phones. Okay, I think some part has gone a wall, so let me adjust. Okay. Okay, what about now? Is it better? Okay, because I want to play the audio. Okay, you said it's better. Okay, let me do this one so that when I play the audio, I will quickly transit. Okay. Okay, so I will play the audio now for us to do this. Then let's practice. Okay.
Section 2. You'll hear part of a free class about safety around campus. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good evening. I'm Geoffrey Miller from the University of Nottingham Student Union, and in this week's free class, Carlos Garcia is going to tell us about safety around campus. Over to you, Carlos.
Thank you, Geoffrey, and thank you all for your attendance today. Also, I'd like to thank the Student Union here at the university for organising this lecture. Well, I've been serving and protecting the city of Nottingham for over 20 years now as a member of the police department. Does anyone know what type of crime is the most prevalent on campus? I heard someone say drugs and alcohol. That actually isn't too much of an issue. Violence? Nope. Actually, the biggest thing we worry about here is theft. The nature of crime on Nottingham's campus is quite different from that of the surrounding areas. Crime rates across the East Midlands are very difficult to control. We'd like to see the rate stay the same for this calendar year, but it has been increasing steadily over the past 3 years. On campus, however, I'm happy to say that the overall crime rate has fallen this year. You wouldn't think so if you've seen the extremely exaggerated stories in the media. The media has done nothing but cause more concern about crime in our area. Even the crime shows you see today are a little bit far-fetched, but at least viewers know they're not real events. We'd really like to see more factual news articles out there so the public can have a rational sense of the safety level of our society.
Okay, so I will transit to the next slide now. I need to add another question because I had to pick out, sorry, I think I need to do it this way. I had to pick out a question there, which was not supposed to be on that slide. Okay, sorry about this. I'll soon sort it out. Okay, confirm if this is okay, because I've split the slide. This one has to be separate. Oh, don't worry. I know I had to split it because it's too small for those who are using. Okay, I hope you can see now. If you can see, please just confirm because I had to do this in class now. Okay, 15 to 20. Yes, it's okay. Yes, I'm increasing. If I'm increasing and they are on two slides, one will be decreasing if one is too big. Yeah. Okay, so I'll continue now so that you can do it.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
Okay.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Okay, let's move on to what to do when you see a crime. Do not get involved if at all possible, and do not draw too much attention to yourself by running away in a conspicuous manner. Though most likely, and hopefully, you will not have to experience this situation, if you are being mugged, please do not try to resist. Instead, be compliant and seek help after the incident. Like I said, though, it is highly unlikely that you will find yourself amidst a crime, but it is important to be prepared should it ever happen. We find that educating students and staff on the correct precautions to take is the best way to increase your safety. Just remember to be smart when you're out late at night and avoid any area or person that looks suspicious. I know it sounds obvious, but I cannot stress this enough. It's also not a bad idea to have your mobile phone with you at all times, but be careful. If you're chatting on your smartphone on your way home, you're a prime target for thieves. I'd like to see a show of hands. How many people have left work or the library after 10 p.m. to go home before? A lot of you, right? If you do have to go home late at night, please don't walk home alone. More often than not, there's someone there that will be walking the same direction as you at some point. Walk home with a friend or co-worker. Even if you must use your phone to call someone that's nearby to walk with you, it's always safer to walk home with someone. So when you're walking home, you may feel more comfortable with some sort of self-defense, such as pepper spray. Now, it's your call whether you want to carry something like this or not. However, I absolutely advise against carrying a knife or any other offensive weapon. All too often, they can be used against you if you're disarmed, putting yourself in more danger. For all those interested, the Recreation Centre offers a free self-defense class to all students every Thursday evening. While obviously an introductory self-defense class may not equip you to fight off villains like a regular superhero, it does come in handy sometimes. After taking a self-defense class, you'll surely be more aware of possible dangers and how to deal with them. So hopefully now you have a more complete understanding of the nature of crimes committed on your campus and how to avoid being a victim. I know most students at the University of Nottingham are not the criminal types, but remember that there is no barrier like a wall or something keeping non-students out. There's no army force securing the borders, and I doubt anyone wants it that way. The campus is generally a safe place, but it's not immune to small crimes once in a while. All right, that's all I have to say for today. Stay safe.
Okay, so
That
that's
is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
okay. You can check your answers and then send in your answers so that we will compare now, because this is a full multiple choice question. Yes, send in your answers from 11 to 20. So I will review the answers. Okay. We stayed a bit longer tonight because on Tuesdays we normally finish like 10:20, 10:15. It is Thursdays that we stay like 10:20, 10:30. But because we are rounding off the class, I just want us to cover as much as possible to refresh our mind and to maybe propel us to practice more so that you can get your desired score. Yes. Okay. Okay, 2 people have finished sending their answer, then the third person is sending. Then I will reveal it now. Okay, you said your sound was breaking. That must be okay, Mr. Julius. Okay, I think I need to speak to your network. Okay. Okay, so that is it. I will reveal the answers now. The answer is 11B, 12C, 13B, 14, A, 15, C, then 16A, 17B, 18B, 19A, and 20A. Okay, those are the answers for the question. Those are the answers. Yes. Okay, so please, if you've made any mistake, uh, the practice I'm doing for those who have actually subscribed for the class, you have the practice material. If you've not, then you need to tell me that you didn't get it, but you have it. So it's practice 10. Yes, 10, section 2. This is practice 10, section 2. Then we will be doing this last practice. This is map before we call it a day. Please put on your headset. The volume is not too sharp, but it's audible enough. Okay, so want to practice this one. This is the last practice for the day. Then I will call it a day. And then the end of the listening season from Tuesday, it will be next Tuesday is reading, and Thursday will be continuing more like starting over the writing, but writing is never stopping. Okay, so let me play the audio now.
You'll hear the librarian of a new town library talking to a group of people who are visiting the library.
Okay, everyone. So, here we are at the entrance to the town library. My name is Anne, and I'm the chief librarian here. And you'll usually find me at the desk just by the main entrance here. So, I'd like to tell you a bit about the way the library is organised and what you'll find where. And you should all have a plan in front of you. Well, as you see, my desk is just on your right as you go in. And opposite this, the first room on your left has an excellent collection of reference books and is also a place where people can read or study peacefully. Just beyond the librarian's desk on the right is a room where we have up-to-date periodicals such as newspapers and magazines. And this room also has a photocopier in case you want to copy any of the articles. If you carry straight on, you'll come into a large room, and this is the main library area. There is fiction in the shelves on the left and non-fiction materials on your right. And on the shelves on the far wall, there is an excellent collection of books relating to local history. We're hoping to add a section on local tourist attractions too, later in the year. Through the far door in the library, just past the fiction shelves, is a seminar room, and that can be booked for meetings or talks. And next door to that is the children's library, which has a good collection of stories and picture books for the under 11s. Then there's a large room to the right of the library area. That's the multimedia collection, where you can borrow DVDs and so on. And we also have CD-ROMs you can borrow to use on your computer at home. It was originally the art collection, but that's been moved to another building. And that's about it. Oh, there's also the library office on the left of the librarian's desk. Okay, now, does anyone have any questions?
Okay, so that's the end of that audio for the map chart. Please send in your answer, and that's the last task for the day. And it has been 6 lectures into this listening. All the lectures are available, yes, on YouTube. Okay, and for those who want to join, you can just communicate later, and then please send your answers. Yes, send your answers. Okay, so that I will review the answer, then we'll call it a day. It's been fantastic. Some made it actually encouraging, because the biggest encouragement I can get is to participate. You didn't need to be perfect. When you are failing it or you're not getting it right, it makes me want to explain more. And most of the time, research has come out of students complaining that this is the challenge I have. How can I solve it? Okay, so that is it. Okay, no problem. Okay, you said you couldn't see, or it's a bit faint if you are using a phone actually. Yes, you could have told me to maybe expand it a bit. Maybe, yes, I could have expanded it a bit. Yes, okay. Okay, next time I will be expanding it if you tell me that it was not, because maps can be tiny from afar. Okay, so those who participate, these are the answers. Number 11 was H, sorry. Number 12 was G, number 13 was D, number 14 was B, and number 15 was F. Okay, so that's the end of today's class. Please practice. Remember these things that I gave, the nuggets that you need. If you want to really score 8.0, you need to apply these rules. They work. They work. Yes, I am very, very confident about it. Most of the students we've taken have actually are scoring well. Because you need to do many practices to be able to apply the rules and get familiar. I said 3 weeks to the exam, do at least a practice a day. After practice, go over it. So that is the end of the class for today. And thanks for joining and thanks for participating. Further question, please send me comments, chats through the link where you joined the class or that I sent to you. Okay, no problem. So good night, everyone. Have a nice night rest. So bye bye for now. Okay, you're welcome. Thanks for participating today. So bye.